Hi guys, my name is Irene and I'm from Russia. I love my country, truly, and I want you foreigners to know more about it. I'm so glad to see you here, and today we are going to talk about habits that are peculiar to Russians. Let's go! Let's start with our inner urge to cluttering and storing various goods at home. In Russian literature, hoarding piles of unnecessary stuff is called Plюshkin syndrome, after the last name of a famous character, landowner Plюshkin. Nikolai Gogol, the famous Russian writer, describes him as a stingy man, very greedy one who wanted to collect all possible trinkets in the world. Number 1. A bag with bags. If you pay a visit to the Russians, you may notice a plastic bag containing several other plastic bags, like a Matryoshka doll. We Russians are very frugal, so if we pay for a bag, we must reuse it at least twice. Most commonly, you can find a bag with a bag somewhere near the trash can. I've got such bags myself. They are of different sizes, and I use them whenever we have to move to a new apartment or when I just want to collect clothing, books, or some other items. Americans use boxes for storing, and we Russians utilize such bags. Now people are becoming more eco-conscious and they buy reusable fabric bags. I've got several ones at my backpack and I use them each time I go to the grocery store. This one was bought in a famous widespread Russian grocery chain called Пятерочка. Number 2. We keep things for a special occasion, but we actually rarely or never use them. We collect crystal crockery, extravagant booze, luxurious suits, dresses, enormous libraries, and then for the next decades or even eternity, we wait for a special one-in-a-lifetime moment when we put them in use, but it never comes. The thing is that it's not that common for the young generation. However, our parents and grandparents will match this description. Sometimes precious belongings are even inherited, but we rarely use items that once were owned by our ancestors because they are outdated, we don't need them, we have something else. And that's life. The roots of this habit go back to the USSR, when it was rather hard to get some valuable things. And if people did manage to do that, they preferred to store those items and never dared even to touch them. My grandma had some crystal crockery and china we almost never used, and I don't know even where this crockery is right now. Number 3. We keep old useless junk at the balconies. This habit is peculiar even to young generation. The thing is that in Russia it's extremely pricey either to rent an apartment or to purchase one. Even several generations sometimes live under one roof. People don't have enough space for living, not speaking about storing, so we keep all unnecessary stuff at the balconies. European balconies, where you can lay your head down, drink a cup of coffee and enjoy the splendid view, is not applicable towards us. No way. It's a storage room in Russia. The worst thing is when people don't have balconies like my parents. But I do, and I can show you my personal junkyard. Here you can see my suitcase, blanket, knapsack, whatever. There are also lots of boxes of some goods, devices. They are still under warranty, and that's why I don't throw the boxes out. My fellow countrymen store tires, bikes, keys, maintenance materials. For example, the remains of wallpaper or half-empty paint cans. These things are sometimes so shabby, but still people hope that one day they will come in handy. My boyfriend doesn't throw out his old slippers. Just take a look at them. They are so shabby, so disgusting. Why does he need them? Moreover, he's got a drawer where he keeps some weird junk. I've got no idea what it is. Number 4. Wearing worn-out clothing at home. As far as I know, you foreigners buy home clothing intentionally, but we don't. While staying at home, we prefer shabby but cozy clothing. When the apparel is worn out and we can't put it on while going outside, we start using it as leisure wear. So usually we put on stuff like old dressing gowns, t-shirts with stains, frayed pants, and something like that. And when we go out, we put on the best that we can find just to show off. We like that. I work from home remotely, so I spend here the majority of the time. And I try to buy leisure wear intentionally, though I must admit even I sometimes turn my everyday outfit into home clothing. Let's move on to the next category of our weird national habits. We don't always sit at home. Sometimes we go to see our relatives, friends, acquaintances, or neighbors. Number 5. We offer sleepers to our guests. Some people even insist on it. They don't know how clean your socks are, but they worry about their carpets or parquet. Of course, they won't be direct with you, but they will say something that they take care of your health. So if you don't want to catch a cold, dear, please put on these ones. I might be mean and some Russians could get offended, but the truth is that it's not always pleasant to put on greasy old sleepers which have been worn by so many people. Be that as it may, we do wear sleepers at home. They can be flip-flops or fluffy sleepers. As far as I know, you foreigners don't wear sleepers at home. Some of you prefer outdoor footwear, others just stay in socks or even barefoot. Correct me if I'm wrong. Number 6. We don't go to see our dearest and nearest empty-handed, especially if we go to a home where kids live. We present them small gifts like chocolate bars, toys, coloring books. As to the grown-ups, we give them liquor or some handmade cakes. Sometimes this tradition is neglected, however, and we can come empty-handed, but we offer to buy some food at the store, or at least we offer some help with cooking, dishwashing, or some other household chores. The house owner usually refuses from the help. Number 7. Kitchen get-togethers and home concerts. You foreigners have living rooms, dining rooms where you can throw parties and hang out. We Russians simply can't afford having an additional room, just bedrooms. So the only place where people can get together is a kitchen. The tradition takes its roots in the Soviet Union period, where our kitchens were so wee and dozens of people gathered there to eat, dance, sing songs. These parties were so soulful, heartwarming. Singing refers to another tradition of ours, home concerts. Ordinary people who could sing and play the guitar, and even famous ones, performed at the private parties in the private apartments. And this tradition still exists. People buy tickets to listen to their favorite musicians performing in the home environment. Number 8. We drink in a celebration of a purchase. When somebody buys something expensive, a flat, a car, a camera, a TV set, we drink in a celebration of it. But prior to that, we pour some liquor on the index finger, put it on the item we've bought and rub the surface. It's considered to be a symbolic gesture of prosper. Like pagans, we say that with this gesture we'll wash away all bad energy, and from now on this item is going to bring us only good luck. Cunning people, when they hear that you've bought something expensive, they will call you and say that congratulations, how about drinking in celebration of it? So they use it as an excuse for an additional drink. Number 9. Feasts. Home feasts are obligatory when it comes to big events such as weddings, funerals, anniversaries, birthday parties, and funeral. People eat an enormous quantity of food. They overdrink alcohol. When the homeowner brings a cake or a pie as a dessert, anyone can hardly eat a slice because they've already pigged out. Not only do people eat a lot, but they also like giving toasts. It's not something like bottoms up, cheers, no. Russians like long philosophical parables, or if one gets too emotional, they bring to life all their recollections of holding you as a baby, watching your first footsteps. Oh, it's so moving. I like family feasts so much. Number 10. Fatalism. That's a very bad habit of ours, but we simply can't help it. We tend to think that we are doomed, cursed. Our lives are filled with sorrows and poverty. We like to moan about how bad things are, how miserable our lives are, that there are no prospects and hope for the better. We blame bosses, obstacles, whatever, but not ourselves. Even mystical rituals, but never ourselves. So positive thinking is not something peculiar to us. Optimistic people will always tell you that this is not true. They are looking forward to the bright side. But I suppose that they are trying to deny their nature. Russians are whiners. Just deal with it. Alright guys, that were only 10 habits peculiar to Russians. I know 10 more and I will share them with you in my next video. Stay tuned.